12 years ago, I had cancer of the labia. And then 4 years ago, I had cancer of the Bartholin gland. And I did chemo and radiation for that. And then in December 3 years ago, they told me that I had cancer that was, I think it started in the vagina, broke through the wall, into my colon, into my pelvic bone, and headed towards my bladder at that point. They found the tumors in October. I got diagnosed in December, but I actually had had my PET scan in February of that year. So I was having them on time and regularly, so this cancer just spread very rapidly. They told me I had a year to a year and a half to live, and I have lived 2.5 years now. Telling my parents was horrible. Horrible. But my mom is my best friend. So I had a really hard time telling her. And I called them all and I had them all come here to tell them at the same time. So they figured that the cancer was back, but they didn't have the expectation that I was terminal. So that was a kick to the teeth. I used to be really involved in volunteering with my kids when they were younger. I was president of the PTA. I was vice president of Rochester area baseball, treasurer of Rochester area softball, youth softball. Anything my kids were involved in, I was in. I wanted to know who they were with and what they were doing. Sure. And I still do. I still know who they're with and what they're doing. And my son doesn't talk about it at all. My daughter just freaks out if I mention anything. Like even if I talk about like something that I'm feeling, or I'm having cramps or cramping or pain in my side, she's still in denial. But that was one of my biggest concerns, is I was the one who did everything as far as the kids were concerned, because he worked and I stayed home. So my biggest concern when I first got diagnosed was that he had to build relationships with the kids so that they would go to him instead of coming to me, because he was always sleeping or at work, or he was around. He was fun dad. He wasn't disciplinarian or homework or know your friends or keep track of you. That was me. It's made life a lot easier. I mean, my medication's delivered here. We don't have to worry about going out and getting it. It's really frustrating some days. Some days I'm okay. Other days I go in the bathroom and cry and just want to be left alone. But I don't cry in front of my kids, and I usually don't cry in front of Jesse. I usually cry alone. There's still things on my bucket list I'd like to do, some of which I'll probably never get to. Like meet Bon Jovi. I want to meet Bon Jovi, and I'll never get to do that. I always make jokes. Like somebody tried to give me a credit card, and they're like, oh, you know, it's deferred interest for 2 years. And I'm like, well, I'm terminal, so if you give me a credit card, I might not be here in 2 years to pay you. You know? And I make jokes about it. But, I mean, I don't know how else to handle it other than to make jokes.